Now, I think I could have 5 more minutes. Okay. Well, I don't want to do that. So here's the last thing. To try to, this morning, having a conversation about this and talking to you about finding what is God doing with the community. What's His vision? What's His dream? What's His heart? What is that? What do you see? What do you hear happening among you? What do you hear God's heart for you as a people? And then you as an individual in that. So I want to point you to this next slide. And what we do an exercise, and I was sharing this with Fred, and Fred said, why don't you just do it with us on Sunday morning? So I'm going to do this with you. So I'm going to come down here if it's okay. But now if you all have, you're going to have to pretend you have pen and paper. How many of you have a pen? Pull it out, and you can write this on your hand. Okay, make a little circle. Write this on your hand. If you can't, write it on your neighbor's hand. No, right? So whatever you can do here. But the first question we ask is, who is God to you? When we say God, in your mind, what's one word that means that is significant of God to you? One word that comes to mind that would describe God in your life. One word. That's tough. But they say if you can nail it down to one word, you're going to get it. Right? So nail it down to one word. Who is God? What's the word that pops into your head? How has He revealed Himself to you? Is He a friend? We'll give you some clues here. Friend, Father, Shepherd, Guide, Redeemer. What's the word? And you may have another word. He's already revealed it to you. That this is God to you. Everybody got that? Got one word? It's tough. It can be tough. It can be easy. There may be one word that pops. But who is God to you? How has He revealed Himself? The second question is, what's your life dream? One word. What gets you up in the morning? What are you about? As someone said when we introduce each other, we shouldn't say, what do you do? Or where do you live? Or what sports team do you like? We should say, who are you? How many of you know that's probably the scariest question? How would you answer that? Who are you? Who are you? Okay, what's your life dream? What's that motivation within you? What do you think about? What moves you forward? What inspires you in life? You're all looking at me like, nothing. What are you talking about? Okay. What's your life dream? What gets somebody says, cappuccino? What gets you moving? What's that life dream? You all got a word? Everybody got a word? Raise your hand if you got a word. It's tough. Okay, 3 of you do. God bless you, 3. Okay, okay. Next one is legacy. Discovering your legacy. What if someday your family or those closest to you, those who love you the most and know you the most, are standing at your tombstone? What do you want them to say about you? What do you hope they will say? What has God put in your heart that they will say about you at that point? Say, well, good riddance. Is that what you want? Yeah, one word. One word. That's tough. What would you like them to say? I'm going to give you some clues from my own life in a minute. So what would you want them to say? Not again, funny, famous, nuts. That may not be good. So what's the one word? Okay, the next one is life work. So this is basically in your life. Everywhere you've done anything or worked alongside of others, as young kids, you've done things to help others. What comes out of your life? What would people say, and what would you see as the one thing that comes out everywhere you go with other people when you're working? We say it this way with some business leaders, whether you're the president of the company or you were a truck driver at one time in your life. What was a common theme that was your work that came through? And I'll just give you a clue. When I was the dean of the school where Fred met me, and I realized when I was a dean, when I was a pastor, when I was in business, basically there's the same theme that comes through my life everywhere I go. I can't keep people out of my office. I can't get away from having coffee with people and talking and having conversations. It's the same everywhere I go. And so I've nailed that down to a word that it's my life work, whatever I do. Okay, you got those? Now the next question is, and you have to answer this to yourself, and this is kind of a quick, I'm taking you through like a day thing in 2 minutes. The next question is to go around and say, why did you choose that word? Why? Why did you choose the word for God? How has He revealed Himself to you? Why? What happened there? What has God done that shows you that? In my life, I put down shepherd. The Lord's kind of given me Psalm 23 as my life. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. That ends the whole question. Discussion's over. He's taking care of everything. He's with me. He's guiding me. He's guarding me. He's leading me. I don't have to make up my life. So He's my shepherd. I can as easily say He's my father. He's fathering me. He's protecting me. He's gone before me to set things up for me. Nothing's out of control. He's in control. Life dream. I dream always of bringing people together to make an impact, to build community. That's what my life is about. That's my dream. I started realizing that was it. I didn't want to be a dictator by myself over a small island. I wanted to have people there. I wanted people to gather. And one of my friends said one time, he says, you just want to gather people. I said, that's it. That's me, but it's for a purpose. In legacy, what do I want to say at the end of my life? I want to say, I would like my family, I'd like my wife and my kids especially to say, my dad lived an authentic life. We knew his good, bad, and the ugly, and he was the real deal. He wanted to walk with God. I'd love for them to say that. That gives me some work to do. But that's the legacy I'd like to leave behind. Life work. I find that it's basically shepherding people. Walking alongside of people, having conversations, encouraging, walking with them, helping them develop. Now, let's shift just for a moment, and then we're going to wrap this up this morning. Now, I'm thinking about, in community, who's God to this congregation? How has He revealed Himself to this congregation? How has He revealed Himself to you? What's He doing with you that reveals His character and nature for this congregation? Anybody got a word that comes to your mind? You can actually say it. I know you can say it here in this church. I got that feeling. Redeemer. Okay. Anybody else? A word that comes to mind for how God's revealed Himself here? Savior. Okay. What's that? Bond. Okay. All right. And what's the dream God's given this congregation? Not just Pastor Fred's dream, because he has a dream that you came with. You have dreams. You all have dreams that have connected you to this community. What are those dreams? And what's God revealing? What's that? Building community. Okay. Trust. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm hard of hearing too. My wife, she says, "You're hard of hearing, John." The kids say I'm hard of hearing. I said, "I'm not hard of hearing. I'm going to buy you guys megaphones. Everybody has megaphones in their house. You're all speaking softer all the time." So, okay, so God's revealing that to you, and begin to share that among yourselves. How's God revealing Himself, and what is He giving us as the dream? And then what's the legacy that God would like, not so much about this building, but when 100 years from now, when people talk about this community, what will they say? My life was transformed there. I was loved there. God spoke to me there. He changed me there. I met Him there. I had people who loved me unconditionally. I was known and they still loved me. They forgave me. They patched me up as the blind man. They put the stuff on my eyes and they spit and they helped me see. And I walked away whole. They loved me. They showed me Jesus. And what do we want that to say? Life work. What's the work and the ministry of this congregation? What's God given you as a characteristic that you can identify? Is that helpful? Is this helpful? Building community means that we come together and we find our calling, but we find our calling in community. We find that we're affirmed and loved. You know what I long for more than anything with the people I connect with? I want to know, Lyle and I were talking about this on our trip, our long trip yesterday. We were talking about, we want to know that I matter in this. That what I think, what I feel, what God's given me matters to me. It's important. That I matter. You matter to God. He's called you to this place. So, congratulations. 13 years is awesome. You're just beginning. And God's going to do some incredible things. And here's the last thought I'll just leave you with is, when we get to this point, and people get to this point in marriage, people get to this point in relationships, people get to this point in organizations, people get to this point in churches, and they say, I've kind of hit the doldrums. What am I going to do now? The American way, in the most recent culture, is you opt out. The Jesus way is you opt in. And as Jesus said to Peter, love thy sheep. You love more. You say, Lord, squeeze the good juices out of her hand. You say like Peter, Lord, I give you my life.